There are many different animals today that can be seen as unusual or weird, like the camel spider or the goblin shark. But what about creatures that have long been extinct from this planet? Creatures that humans have never had to encounter. Creatures that developed and thrived during harsh periods of history. Here are 16 of the strangest extinct animals to have ever existed. The Dimorphodon. First discovered by paleontologist Richard Owen in 1859, Dimorphodon is Greek for two-formed tooth. This name refers to it having two distinct types of teeth in its jaw. Dimorphodon lived during the early Jurassic period in what is now Europe. The creature is most distinctive for its head, which looks like it belongs to a lizard. This makes it look like a freaky monstrosity. They are 3.3 feet long and have a wingspan. Their skull is only 23 centimeters in length, giving them pretty small brains. Dimorphodon's diet includes small fish, insects, and lizards. The Elasmosaurus. The first fossil discovered of this long-necked plesiosaur was in 1868 by paleontologist Edward Richter Cope. The name means fin plate reptile, or flat-tailed, which is strange since the most notable feature of the Elasmosaurus is not its bone structure, but the overly long neck. The neck alone is 23 feet long, which is twice as long as its body, giving it a total length of 34 feet. The neck is one of the longest out of any other animal that has ever existed. It lived during the late Cretaceous period in North America, which is where it was discovered. Their diet includes fish and other small marine animals, but it might have also ate things like mosasaurs and others of its species. The Therizinosaurus. The first remains of this creature were found in 1948 during a Soviet fossil expedition in Mongolia. Its name, which is given by Evgeny Maleev, means Sea Lizard in Greek. They lived during the late Cretaceous period in Asia. They were 10 feet tall and reached up to 33 feet in length. Their forelimbs reached up to 11.5 feet. This is because of the Therizinosaurus' extremely long claws, which were thought to be used in hunting. However, since they are herbivores, they instead use them for either self-defense or tearing down trees. Still looks like a prehistoric wolverine. I bet it wouldn't hesitate to tear it into pieces. The Leoplerodon. First discovered by Henry Emile Sauvage in 1873, the name means smooth-sided teeth in Greek. It lived during the mid to late Jurassic period in Europe. The Leoplerodon could grow in length from around 23 to 33 feet. Its head, which can reach a length of 6 feet, is very similar to a crocodile's, mainly with the snout and the way the teeth look. They ate mostly fish and other creatures slightly smaller than them, but would probably cannibalize each other. The Brachiocephalus. Gigantism is when an animal that is isolated from others in a species becomes abnormally large. That can explain the 8.5 feet length of the Brachiocephalus. Also known as the sea scorpion, the first fossil was found in Wyoming. They lived during the early Devonian period, meaning they were most likely the top predators of their time. The Brachiocephalus used its claws to grab fish or any other creatures that size as they swam by. The Utah raptor. With its name meaning Utah's predator or Utah's thief, where else was this raptor first discovered? The first fossil was found in 1975 by Jim Jensen in the Dalton Wells quarry. The Utah raptor lived during the early Cretaceous period, meaning it was one of the top predators at the time. The creature was twice the size of your standard velociraptor, reaching up to 19 feet long and growing up to 6 feet tall. The Utah raptor uses 9.4-inch claws to hunt dinosaurs bigger than it. The Helicoprion. In 2011, a roll of teeth was found in the Phosphora site in Idaho. It measured 18 inches in total, but it was unclear what exactly it belonged to. Then it was matched to a shark-like creature from the early Permian period. Many different depictions of the shark have been made, but the one shown is the most believable. The Helicoprion is estimated to be of 24 feet in length. The whorl of teeth was used for hunting fish and other similar animals, but it is still unclear how specifically it works. Not as scary as a megalodon, but much weirder. The Gorgonops. Classified as a mammal-like reptile, similar to the famed Dimetrodon, they lived during the late Permian period. They reached up to the size of a large dog, making them 5 feet. The Gorgonops was the top predator of their time, using their 5-inch heads filled with sharp teeth to hunt. They are an example of a nocturnal animal, one of the first of its kind. Richard Owen found one of the first fossils in South Africa in 1976. The Gorgonops name means Gorgon's eye or Gorgon's face. The Forastracidae. Nicknamed terror birds, they were the apex predators of their time. They lived during the Cenozoic period in South America, where it was mostly savanna. Fossils have also been found in North America and even Africa. They can reach top speeds of 75 miles per hour, meaning they were faster than the cheetah. They could grow up to 10 feet tall and 4.5 feet in length. Their heads alone is 28 inches long. Like the modern-day cassowary, it has an extremely sharp beak and claws, allowing it to grab and tear up prey. Its prey ranges from small lizards and mammals to horse-sized animals. The Platybelodon. With its name meaning flat tusk or shovel tusk, it uses scooper-like lower jaw to collect vegetation and to ward off predators. It also uses flat-cheeked teeth to grind up leaves. The jaw, of course, definitely stands out more than the tusk, a weird feature of modern-day elephants. Fossils of the Platybelodon have been found in many different parts of the world, like in North America, Europe, and parts of China, with it living during the late Miocene period. It was first discovered and described in the 1920s. The Platybelodon measures at 9 feet tall and 20 feet long. The Kronosaurus. The first fossil was found in Queensland, Australia, by Andrew Crombie in 1899. Its name means Lizard of Kronos, which refers to the Greek god of Kronos. Kronos is most known for castrating his own father and for eating his own children. The Kronosaurus lived during the early Cretaceous period. It is one of the largest predators to have ever lived, with it reaching a life of 35 feet. Its head takes up 1/3 of its body, with it at a length of 11 feet, meaning that it could probably eat a human whole. Its teeth alone can grow up to a foot long. Their prey includes plesiosaurs, fish, and even other pliosaurs. The Sarcosuchus. The largest living crocodile today is the saltwater crocodile. It can reach a length of 17 feet, but the Sarcosuchus can reach a length of 36 feet, making it another one of the largest predators to have ever existed. It lived during the late Cretaceous period, and fossils can be found in both Africa and Europe. The first remains are found by paleontologist Albert Felix de la Parent during its many expeditions between 1946 and 1959. The name Sarcosuchus means flesh crocodile. It is also nicknamed the supercroc because of its monstrous size. It could eat large-sized dinosaurs, including T-Rex-sized animals. The Dunkleosteus. The first fossil of this terrible fish was found by paleontologist David Dunkel in 1867. He named the creature after himself, and by adding the Greek word osteus, which means bone. It lived during the late Devonian period, making it one of the first shark-like creatures to have ever existed. The Dunkleosteus is one of the most powerful bite out of any other creature. Its bite force is 11,000 pounds. They can grow up to a length of 9.7 feet long. It was discovered that they normally cannibalize each other, with bite marks being found on many fossils. The Arthropleura. Yet another example of gigantism. This is the largest known land invertebrate ever. If you thought a tarantula was the scariest thing ever, and you have clearly never seen this thing before. It can grow up to 8 feet long and has a width of 1.6 feet. The Arthropleura lived during the Carboniferous period in what is now North America and Europe. It would have had few, if any, predators. They went extinct due to climate change, which was a good thing. The Quetzalcoatlus. First discovered by Douglas A. Lawson in 1971, its name comes from the Mesoamerican feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl. It lived during the late Cretaceous period in what is now North America. As you can tell, this thing is nightmarish. The Quetzalcoatlus is 18 feet tall and has a wingspan of 45 feet, making it the size of a small plane. It also makes it the largest flying creature ever. Probably the strangest part about them were their body proportions. They had huge necks, heads, and wings with a small body, legs, and tail. They were able to swallow man-sized creatures whole. The Titanoboa. This has to be the scariest thing to have ever lived. This is a 48-foot-long snake that weighs 2,500 pounds. It lived during the Paleocene period shortly after the mass extinction event of the late Cretaceous. The first fossils of the Titanoboa were found by a team of international scientists led by Jonathan Bloch and Carlos Jaramillo. The name means Titan boa, referring to its monstrous size. The Titanoboa is able to swallow whole mice and crocodile-sized creatures, like a boa constrictor was able to swallow whole mice. And like the boa constrictor, it can crush its prey easily.